Back here at home to our south, where thousands of migrants have joined a caravan in Central America that's making its way to the U.S.
While some people welcome the new arrivals, others are having a hard time accepting the influx of migrants.
The U.S. is facing a humanitarian crisis over where to place migrants who are seeking asylum in this country. There are actually now more people seeking asylum in our city shelters than there are homeless New Yorkers.
Picture stepping into the pulsating heart of New York City, where the streets not only echo the hustle and vitality of an urban giant, but now also resonate with the hopes and challenges of over 2 million migrants. This is their temporary sanctuary, a city grappling with a migrant crisis that is testing its capacity and humanitarian spirit like never before. New York's pledge to protect its immigrant population, a reflection of its diverse and rich tapestry, faces intense scrutiny amidst this influx. In every nook and cranny of this sprawling metropolis, from the overcrowded shelters in the Bronx to the lively community centers in Brooklyn, stories of dreams, integration, and the pursuit of a better life unfold. Here, in the city's vibrant streets, parks, and squares, the daily life dramas of the newest New Yorkers come to life. Yet, it's Mayor Eric Adams who finds himself at the helm of this unprecedented challenge. In response to the crisis that has seen over 2 million people flock to the city since 2022, his administration has taken bold steps to recalibrate sanctuary policies.
177,000 migrants and asylum seekers have found their way to New York City, and I think there's a clear way that we can solve this problem.
These adjustments aim to balance New York's warm embrace with the imperatives of safety and public order. This pivot has sparked a vital debate on how New York can continue to be a beacon of hope while safeguarding the welfare of its diverse inhabitants. This discussion, ignited by the city's handling of the migrant surge, echoes beyond its boundaries, feeding into a global dialogue on migration, sanctuary cities, and the evolving responsibilities of urban centers. As the city maneuvers through these trials, the invaluable contributions of migrants to New York's cultural and economic fabric become increasingly evident. Their arrival not only reinforces the city's identity as a melting pot of ideas, cuisines, and traditions, but also highlights its resilience and capacity to adapt.
Since October, an estimated 100,000 migrants have arrived in New York City.
The collective resolve of New Yorkers to welcome change and uphold their ethos of inclusivity and protection is a powerful reflection of the city's spirit. Imagine a city that opens its arms wide, not just in welcome, but in protection. In 2014, under the leadership of former Mayor Bill de Blasio, New York City made a groundbreaking pivot away from the past. Gone were the days when city agencies like the NYPD would detain undocumented immigrants for ICE. This was more than a policy shift. It was a bold affirmation of NYC's dedication to safeguarding its immigrant populace, a move that resonated with the city's deeper values of respect, dignity, and human rights. New York stood as a proud sanctuary, a testament to its enduring identity as a diverse and welcoming metropolis. This ongoing crisis and NYC's response underscore the complex interplay between sanctuary policies, urban resilience, and the moral obligations of a city that has historically been a beacon for immigrants. The city's efforts to uphold the values of sanctuary, even in the face of financial and infrastructural challenges, reflect a continued commitment to being a safe haven for those seeking refuge and a better life.
The Biden administration is granting nearly 500,000 Venezuelan migrants temporary legal status that will allow them to access work permits in the United States.
Responses to NYC's migrant crisis have been varied, stirring a mix of reactions across the community, advocacy groups, and political figures. While some praise the city's efforts to uphold its sanctuary status and provide support to migrants, others critique the approach, emphasizing the strain on resources and calling for stricter immigration controls.
I think even people who are open-minded to what they call migrants coming in have understood now it's costing us.
Amidst this discourse, there's a growing chorus for a unified federal response to alleviate the city's burden. Stakeholders across the board agree that federal intervention is crucial to managing the crisis effectively, suggesting that a coordinated strategy could better support the city's endeavors and ensure a more sustainable resolution to the challenges posed by the influx of migrants. A much broader national divide on immigration is highlighted here, reflecting deep political and ideological fissures that extend from local neighborhoods to the halls of Congress. This divide is not just about policy preferences. It's about fundamentally different visions for America's future and the role of cities like NYC in shaping that future. Mayor Eric Adams and city officials find themselves advocating for significant federal and state support to manage the effective influx of migrants.
In New York City, Mayor Eric Adams is trying to set limits on the Texas governor's busing of migrants north.
Their stance highlights a humanitarian obligation to provide shelter and aid to migrants, emphasizing the logistical and financial strains on the city's resources. The lack of a national strategy for immigration reform, coupled with the immediate need for work authorizations to allow migrants to become self-sufficient, underscores the challenges faced by the city. Mayor Adams, in particular, has been vocal about the costs imposed on the city and the potential impacts on public services and the quality of life.
This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month.
This side of the debate is deeply concerned with the human stories at the sanctuary city's heart. Mayor Adams's defense of the majority of migrants as contributors to the city's fabric is a poignant reminder of the importance of compassion and understanding in policymaking. It's a call to not let the actions of a few overshadow the positive contributions and aspirations of the many, emphasizing the need for solutions that uphold the dignity and potential of every individual seeking a better life in NYC. Contrastingly, some Republican politicians and community groups argue that the city's approach, by extension reflecting broader Democratic leadership, might inadvertently incentivize illegal immigration and place undue strain on local resources. They call for stricter immigration controls and policies to deter illegal border crossings, voicing concerns about the potential for increased crime, strain on public services, and the financial burden on taxpayers.
They're welcome if they come legally. They're not welcome if they're illegal. And plus, these people are not vetted. We don't know who's in there.
This critique has been sharpened in the wake of violent incidents involving migrants, driving a contentious debate over NYC's sanctuary city status. The Republican critique emphasizes the need for policies that ensure public safety and fiscal responsibility, suggesting that the Democratic approach is inadequate. This perspective is part of a larger national conversation on immigration policy, law enforcement, and the balance between local autonomy and federal jurisdiction. It reflects a broader skepticism about the sustainability of open immigration policies in the face of real-world challenges. Despite the stark differences in approach and perspective, both sides of the debate acknowledge the complexity of the crisis. The challenge lies in finding common ground amid these tensions. There's a recognition, albeit grudging at times, that effective solutions will require collaboration across political lines, blending humanitarian concerns with practical governance and public safety considerations. The debate over NYC's response to the migrant crisis is a microcosm of the national divide on immigration, a divide that asks Americans to reconcile their ideals with the realities of a changing world. It demands a reevaluation of what it means to be a sanctuary city in today's America and how cities like NYC can navigate the fine line between protecting their residents and embracing their role as beacons of hope for the oppressed and disenfranchised. As NYC grapples with these questions, the outcomes of this debate will likely have implications far beyond the city's borders, influencing national policy discussions and shaping the contours of America's immigration debate for years to come. The path forward is uncertain, but one thing is clear. The resolution to this crisis will require not just policy adjustments, but a recommitment to the values of empathy, justice, and shared responsibility that have long defined the American. New York City's approach to the migrant crisis, with its commitment to remaining a sanctuary city while simultaneously addressing safety concerns, stands as a comprehensive example for urban centers worldwide. The city is navigating the challenge of upholding its humanitarian values against the backdrop of governance, public safety, and social cohesion in the face of an unprecedented influx of migrants. This stance not only fosters a deeper sense of trust among immigrant communities, encouraging their cooperation with local law enforcement and contributing to a safer community environment, but also showcases the economic and cultural benefits migrants bring. Their integration into the local economy bolsters growth and diversity, enriching the city's cultural fabric and enhancing its vibrancy. On the other hand, NYC's efforts to modify sanctuary laws in the interest of public safety illustrate a balanced approach to protecting its residents. This adjustment aims to ensure the city remains a safe, welcoming place for immigrants, focusing on sustainable urban management and the importance of a responsible, regulated approach to immigration. These measures help in addressing practical challenges such as infrastructure strain and service provision, ensuring the city can continue to offer essential services to all residents without overburdening its systems. This nuanced approach demonstrates the critical need for strategic, compassionate responses that cater to both the immediate needs of migrants and the long-term welfare of the city's residents. It underscores the importance of creating policies that are inclusive and protective, yet realistic and responsive to the city's needs. New York City's handling of this situation could indeed set a precedent, offering a model of how to manage such crises with empathy and efficiency. The city's policies respect the dignity of individuals while safeguarding public interests, providing valuable insights for crafting more humane and effective immigration strategies globally. This balanced model could serve as a blueprint for other urban centers, marking a significant step toward addressing global migration challenges in a manner that is both empathetic and pragmatic.